Hi everyone, my name is Ben Arterburn, and I was a visa officer for the U.S. Department of State. I made decisions on over 60,000 visa interviews in China and Colombia. Now, I work for Argo, the first company in the world to connect visa applicants with former visa officers to help them pass their interviews.
If your visa was refused, I can help you get your visa issued the next time. How can I do that? I'm a former visa officer. I worked in the embassies and consulates of the US government around the world doing visa interviews for years. I've done over 60,000 of these, and I've seen what it takes for someone who's had their visa refused to get it issued the next time. It's not easy. Why is it not easy? Because you've already got a strike against you. You've already got a negative mark on your record, and that's going to influence the next visa officer when you go in for your next visa interview. However, it's not impossible. How do I know this? Because every visa officer has the authority to make the decision that they judge is correct for each visa applicant. A 214B, which is the refusal code that most applicants who refuse their visas receive, just means that you're refused that day, that one time. It doesn't mean that it's forgotten about the next time. The next time that you interview, the visa officer will indeed see that 214B from the last interview, and it's going to have an effect on their thinking. They're going to think, okay, my colleague refused you before. There must have been a reason why. But it does not bind them to make the same decision. They can make a different decision if they judge that you actually do merit the visa. Now, how do you change their mind then? They're going to be thinking from the very moment that they open up your case and they see that you were refused before, they're going to be thinking something negative. They're going to think, okay, he was refused. She was refused by my colleague. There must be a reason. They're thinking they're going to find out what that reason was, and they're going to feel the same. They're going to have the same judgment. They're going to refuse you the visa. You've got a very limited amount of time at the beginning of your visa interview to change the way that they're thinking about you. It's just like a personal interaction with anyone. You're going to make a first impression. Now, you made a first impression with that first visa officer, but this is your first time interacting with this new visa officer. Everyone in their applications, in their resumes for getting their US visa, has what I call highlights and hurdles. The highlights are the top points in your resume that if you bring those to the attention of the visa officer, they're going to think, oh, this is a positive piece of information. This leads me to want to issue the visa. Everyone, almost everyone, also has some hurdles that they need to overcome. That's the information in your visa application that's going to make a visa officer think, I don't know, I think maybe this person doesn't qualify for the visa. A prior refusal is one of those hurdles, right? Now, in your situation, I don't know, perhaps it's your academics are extremely strong. Perhaps you got a scholarship to go to your master's program. Maybe you have a fully funded PhD. Maybe your family is affluent and your parents and you yourself can afford to pay for your program without any type of financial aid. Maybe it's your prior travel. You've traveled all around the world for tourism. Whatever it is, there are going to be some points in your resume, in your application, which are going to stand out as solid, positive pieces of information that will help get that visa officer into the mindset of approving your visa rather than relying on the decision of the previous visa officer and refusing you again. You've got about 10 to 15, maybe 20 seconds when you're going to be able to influence their thinking. They're going to ask you a question. They're going to ask you, what are you going to do in the US? What is it you're going to study? Oh, you're going to this university. Maybe they'll ask that dreaded question, what's changed since your last interview? That is your opportunity. You have been given the opportunity to speak. And what is speaking in a visa interview other than influencing the thinking of the visa officer? So that's the moment that I prepare my clients for. That moment, that very crucial moment at the very beginning of the visa interview, when the visa officer asks you a question and you have the first chance that you have to change the way they're thinking about you. Everyone's situation is different. I wish that there was some very general advice I could give to everyone where it was so readily apparent that anybody could take that advice and go in and pass their visa interview just with me giving them, one tip. It's not the case. It's difficult. I use all of my years of experience all of my intuition, and all of my years of experience helping visa applicants to creatively come up with what you need to do to highlight the parts of your resume that show that you indeed are going to be a legitimate student, right? Don't rely on that previous refusal. Look at this information. Look at this part of my resume. This will show you that I really am going to study what I say I'm going to study, that I really am the outstanding student that I say I am. That's what we can help you with. Get in touch with us at hello@argovisa.com. You'll see it in the link below and in the description about our company on the YouTube page. Also, email us, hello@argovisa.com, with your questions, with your concerns, with your specific problem. We can help you get your visa. Get in touch with us.